Hey guys, it's Joshua, aka Josh Vision, and I'm here to give you my review of Vikings Season 5, Episode 6. So, I thought this episode was a very monumental episode. Now, in terms of action, I would say it had the least amount, probably, of the season. In comparison, what I would say probably the plan, which is episode 4, but a lot of things happened in this episode which I liked. I enjoyed the Ivar and Bishop Hegman scenes. I enjoyed Astrid's scenes. I enjoyed the brief scenes we had with King Harold and Visick. And even the Lagatha scenes, So let's just get right into it. This review is going to be kind of quick. So what I found interesting was the whole Floki thing. I sort of got this whole Moses and the Hebrews type deal with Floki getting some of the people over to Iceland. As we know in the episode, we see that Lagtha finds out because Guthrum snitched, like I sort of predicted in one of my episode previews, and she allows Floki to go over to the land and all that crap. So some of the people, when they go there, like, Floki, what kind of land is this? It's freaking horrible. And you're actually seeing, you're like, God, Floki must have been eating a lot of those funny little mushrooms or whatever when he was over there. It's just freaking horrid. But he says, listen, in the future, you guys are going to thank me for bringing you here. So that's all we're going to touch upon when it comes to Floki and the whole Iceland trip. When it comes to Bjorn and Halfdan and Siegfried, I believe the translator guy is, basically, it's quick to the point. Bjorn stabs the dude in the dick. Halfdan's able to fight off 2 or 3 of the guys. Siegfried bites one of the guys, and they're able to use the sandstorm to their advantage, and they just run like hell back to their ships. So, yeah, pretty straightforward. I feel as though this is kind of boring. That's all we got in terms of Bjorn's Mediterranean journey. Maybe we'll get more during the second half of Season 5. So, let's get to the whole Lagatha thing. So, with Lagatha, we have her giving Ube command of the army once she finds out that Ivar and King Harold are planning on attacking her 2 moons from now. Basically, like 2 days, 2.5 days, something like that. And Ube is not really feeling it. It's like, me going to war against my 2 little brothers. This is not going to do well in terms of my father's legacy. And Lagatha is like, listen, the seer told us this was going to happen anyways. So basically, man up, accept reality for what it is, and let's get ready. And once again, this episode, we had Marguerite talking crap about Lagatha, especially how she handled the whole Floki betrayal thing, saying how she's letting him go, she looks weak, and all this crap. And you would think after the first warning, she would have, shut her mouth and just kept it moving. But no, kept talking. Lagatha once again had to check her, said, listen, keep talking, I'm going to cut your tongue and make you a slave. And it was kind of weird in a sense. When I first heard that, I was like, cut her tongue? Well, God, what use would she be? I'm just joking somewhat. So, but I got sort of kind of vibes like Lagatha was going to basically make her little señorita, the way she was going about it. But that's just how I looked at it. Anyways, let's get back to the good old stuff. Ivar and his storyline. So, you have Ivar and Visick going over to King Harold's place. They talk about how they took out the Saxons once again, and Ivar introduces Bishop Hegman to King Harold Fine here. He's like, why didn't you just kill this guy? And Ivar's like, nope, he's a great warrior, and he's more worthy for us being alive than dead. And we have Bishop Hegman basically talking, to Fine here, saying, basically, I'm following God, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do what you guys tell me to do. And Fine here is like, what's he saying? And I was like, he's just speaking about his God. And they all laugh, whatever. And Fine here is like, what's that? Like, that's going to do him any good. Seemed like Asher was interested about Bishop Hegman. So, anyways, we have Ivar telling Bishop Hegman, giving him the straight and skinny, listen, either you fight with me or I'm going to be forced to kill you. It's your choice, your decision. And Bishop Hammond's like, why do you want me to fight your battles, your wars? I have no issue with your little family problems, Lagatha, and all that. I could care less. And Ivar's like, the reason why I chose you because you are basically what I want. Well, basically what I envision myself of being, being completely whole. And we all know what he means by being completely whole. Having the use of his limbs, the use of his penis, being able to fight, without having all this crippleness and handicaps holding him back, from his true potential. And I just thought it was a real touching scene because that's one of the very few times we actually see Ivar being open and not manipulating and not being sarcastic, just being genuine about how he feels. And Bishop Hagman definitely takes this in and really, it touches him to a certain extent, especially the scene when he speaks to his God about what he should do. We have this interesting scene, actually, I know I'm going back a little bit, but when Ivar first arrives, and they're talking about the alliance, King Harold Finehair is like, okay, let's have this alliance, like you said, against Lagatha, but what do you want? And Vis is like, to make Ivar king. And at first, you're like, yo, Visick, why are you being so bold and blunt about this? Because Visick's not dumb. It's like, what is the reason why he's being so bold about this, And we have this interesting scene in which Visick talks to Ivar. He's like, why is it you're not being, like, basically straight up about your plan? And why is it does it seem that if you become the king, the king of Kattegat, that King Harold is going to be basically your successor? Why not me ahead of Harold? Ivar's like, because we should make things concrete, because at the end of the day, all three of us want a goal. We want to take out Lagatha, but why should I trust you? You could easily kill me or kill King Finehair, or I kill you and kill King Finehair, or vice versa. That way everyone's on their toes and everyone kind of has their little lane to stay in. And then Visick's like, what do you really want, Ivar? What is your true ambition? And Ivar's straight up with him. He's like, I want to be more famous than our father. Right now, he's the top dog. But as time goes on, his name won't be as remembered as mine. That's my goal. I want to be the standard bearer. Ivar the Boneless. It was kind of funny because Visick was really feeling what he was saying, but then he looked at Ivar, his male appendage, when he said boneless. Because as we know, the whole thing with Sigurd saying how Ivar's not a full man. Victor kind of laughs, stares at Ivar for a sec to really soak it in and walk away. So we have this scene in which basically Bishop Hagman is getting dragged. He's out of his cell. And Ivar says, so you got to make up your choice. Join us or die. So Ivar has his knife. Bishop Hagman says, give me the knife. And it looks like he's going to kill himself. He has one of Harold Finehair's men basically tell him to do it. And he proceeds to stab the dude right in the throat and kills him. And he gets this great joy out of it. So basically, that's his sign of basically saying, I will fight with you, Ivar, against your battle against Lagatha and all that stuff. So here's a few things I'm just going to hit quick and dandy. We have this interesting scene with Ivar and Finehair. Like I said before, they made a deal about the whole attacking 2 moons in basically 2 full nights. I think they're going to have around 70 ships with them. So that's going to be a large amount of people fighting on their side. And Finehair makes kind of a diss towards Ivar, where he says, remember, no raping is allowed. And then you see the look on Ivar's face. The way I looked at it, it was like another shot at Ivar's impotence, I think, to be honest with you. I think Astrid noticed that as well, but she wasn't braggadocious about it. It seemed as though she was starting to understand, in a sense, Ivar's struggles. And let's get to Astrid. Astrid is struggling with the fact that it seems as though she's truly falling for Harold, especially in the beginning scene where they're playing around with each other and about to make love until the horn from Ivar's bolts came because she's strong with the fact that she still has this loyalty to Lagda, but she's still, she's falling in love with Harold. So she's kind of trapped in a rock and a hard place. She tries to get one of the sailors to sort of give Lagda some information about what's going to happen. Sailor's like, okay, give me something in return. I think she gives him some big, really beautiful, finger ring. And then he says, I also want you. What kind of regular man like me gets to sleep with the queen? So he gets at her, and I swear to God, that shit lasted like the Big Show versus Daniel Bryan. It lasted 45 seconds, and it was over and done with. And then his friends come out of nowhere, and they want a piece of Astrid. And the scene was very disturbing, honestly. I think I was trying to fast forward that scene, but I couldn't because since I missed the original episode, I had to watch it, basically on demand, and there was no fast forward part. It's really sad, obviously. There was a kid that saw the whole thing, so it was interesting to see how the kid is going to play a role in the future. But yeah, they basically gangbanged her, I can assume. It was really horrible. So next scene, we see the guy and his boys sail out towards Kattegat. They tell Lagda what, the whole plan. I think Lagda feels as though they probably did something to Astrid in the process. So they're probably going to get their comeuppance the next episode. Probably going to get, what's that thing? What Lagda stands for, cut off. Probably get their crap cut off or something, killed in a vicious way. Who knows? But yeah, I believe that's everything that happened that was really monumental, or important in this episode. If I missed anything, write some things in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching. Josh Vision over and out.